Hello, welcome back everybody to another Gregtech New Horizons stream. This time a little bit different. We're not in our actual world. I'm just gonna get the chat loaded up here on my phone. I'm trying to mess around with AE2 in the creative world that I have to try and get a better understanding of how this system actually works. So that way when I actually go to, my real world that I'm doing my challenge in, then I kind of already know what's going on. Also, let me just find some different music to play in the background. Just some random non-copyrighted lo-fi or something. Actually, oh, bluegrass. Non-copyrighted bluegrass music. Let's find that. That sounds amazing. Copy right free bluegrass. Royalty-free music, copyright-free music, non-copyright. Whatever, if I get copyrighted, 100 greatest bluegrass hits, royalty-free music. Alright, whatever, let's just try this out. That's not bluegrass. Whatever, I don't even care. 100 greatest bluegrass hits. Bluegrass lo-fi? Is that a thing? Lo-fi bluegrass. Yeah, we're not even recording either, so. Alright, chat. Hey, we got Jacob. Tivity, what's going on? Oh yes, we have some monsters here. It's our creative world. I wish difficulty was set to each world specifically, not like every single world. So I have my little me system here. It's kind of a mess. But we have our me drives. This is our storage. And then I also, this right here, I was testing a sub network. So I can see all of the items from my main terminal. This is my main one. And this is my sub network. So you can only see 5 items here, but then you can also see all of the items here as my main network. This is all my main storage. This is my subnet storage. So that's what that is, which is interesting. But then I was also trying to have automation tested. So I have some interfaces on my machines. I have a circuit set to 1 with an ME interface here. What's going on, Joom? How you doing? And then obviously I have my crafting terminal, interface terminal, processing patterns, and just normal patterns. So we have our advanced vending machine. We have creates 1 iron plate with 1 iron ingot. So this one had 64 program circuits, whatever it had circuit that it needs to, which wasn't the original thing that I have. So we'll go back just to show what we did have. We'll do this. Iron plate, vending machine. This is what we need, so obviously missing following. Hold Alt for hotkeys. Oh, that's for something else. Okay, so whatever. Shift click. So this is our recipe pattern. We should be able to write the pattern. What's going on, Mousy? Will you upload a video soon about the pack? Just asking, no pressure. Probably not soon. If we're all lucky, Wednesday through Friday. Well, all lucky, as in you guys are lucky. If I get off of work Wednesday through Friday, I might be able to do some work to get a video done. For single block machines, don't put circuits in patterns. Yeah. So originally when I did this, I didn't have the circuit in there, so I thought maybe I did have to have it. So it creates 1 iron plate with 1 iron ingot. Advanced vending machine. So then we're going to go here. I'm just going to make sure I have nothing crafted. So we're going to craft, just say 10. Next, we have the CPU, you know, 1,000 bytes. 10 steps to craft, whatever. Crafting CPU, start. We go to our hammer, and then it just stays as scheduled. And nothing happens. You click follow, doesn't really do anything. So you can see I have my crafting whatever here. I put it in line. I had it on the side at one point. I even had it here at one point. It doesn't really do anything. But yeah, nothing ever happens. We have the meat interface. We have these cables. Unless the systems don't like having two separate kinds of cables, we have the smart cables and then just the Fluix glass cables. So I'm not understanding. Also, I might switch the music. I'm not sure I'm a fan of this song. Okay, whatever. We're just gonna go straight to the other bluegrass. Bluegrass Bobcat. Bluegrass instrumentals. There we go. It's a bit better. Wait, Blaze, you jonkled it fully because there are two separate controllers. Which makes two separate networks there. Oh, so this... Because there's this and this, it's considered two separate networks. 'Cause I can still access all of that. So if I got rid of this one, then we should be fine. Do you know how to use P2P? No. I watched the videos you guys sent me in the Discord, and I can see and understand some of it. Like, that's how I was able to make my first sub-network here. You should just avoid having two separate controllers for now, unless you know what sub-networks are. Yeah. So this is my true sub-network. This is what I was testing here. Originally, I didn't have this line. So this was my main network, and then I connected power to the sub-network here, and then, what is it, I have the ME storage bus with the interface. I don't know if there's a better way to do it, but that's the only way I saw in the video. We have our cable with the storage bus on the meat interface, so that way we can access the inventory from here, but then obviously not vice versa. Get a network visualization tool, which we do have here. So you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all of that. Then we shift scroll, show nodes. I don't even know what the nodes mean. Channels. You see it scrolls everywhere. Channels and nodes. P2P links, which we don't even have. But yeah, we can see there's 5 channels being used. Actually 6. But, yeah. Yeah, so let's just get rid of this guy. And then we'll just reconnect this. That should solve our problems. So, scheduled 10. Let's cancel. Even though maybe we had to get rid of the sub-network too. Start. Okay, so it still doesn't work. So if we just get rid of this guy. Try it again. Craft 10. Boom. Start. You need the storage bus for the subnet. So I need storage bus in here for this stuff. I don't care about this subnet right now. Like, I'll just completely disconnect it. Like, we won't even use that. Like, that doesn't need to be used for us right now. Yeah, they'll slowly lose energy. Oh, that's not what we want. How is that not? Okay, so we can't see either of those storage bus. Yes, this is why it's like, it was just so difficult for me to try and figure out what the hell's going on. Interface terminal still doesn't show anything, so that's good. So like this allows me to see everything here. Because if I compare it to my other world, all I had was my crafting terminal hooked up to, what is it? These two were just sitting on top of my controller, and then just the pipes going into an extruder with a shape and everything like that. I also do have this turned on, so input from output side forbidden, allowed. So it was allowed. Blaze is in creative mode. Yes. So this is a different world. We're trying to test things out because I'm having a very hard time understanding stuff, I guess, even after watching videos. I figured out how to access storage on a subnetwork, but I'm trying to get it to where I can auto-craft stuff by the click of buttons. Search short guide P2P in quest book. This is important for you to understand. Yeah, see, I did open up these too. Short guide. One of the more complicated parts of AE2 you'll need to understand. Oh, you need to really understand this to get anywhere with the mod. First, replace your energy acceptor within the ME controller. Now you have a bunch more channels to work with. Place P2P bus against one of the sides, then connect some cables to it to a place a bit away. Make sure to send power to this cable with an EA or quartz fiber, but not a normal cable. This is now a separate network that would cancel that. Connect the second P2P bus to the other end. But we don't. Do we even need a P2P bus for just like this yet? P2P channels. Memory cards. There are various types of P2Ps. So we want interfaces back, storage bus. So let's do this. So I don't like how you can't add these in after the fact. You can transfer me channels, items, fluids, me interfaces. Yo, what? Screaming yo? Don't worry, this is a different world. This is for me channels P2P. So Darius, I'm trying to figure out why I can't auto-craft iron plates. Okay, craft. Actually, let's just check. Cancel. Yes. And it doesn't work. We have this guy in here, the co-processing unit. We also have the crafting storage connected to this controller. I'm going to read those 72 new messages on Discord first. Sounds good. A lot of it's just me not knowing what the hell's going on. If I take this and put this here, would that be better? Is the machine set up to input from the interface side? It is. Input setup. Actually, hold on, wait a minute. So it is set to allow input from the output side, but to allow from the front side, I don't think so. So maybe that's my problem. So me interface, boom. get rid of that. Boom, boom, boom. And then creates iron plates. So that's the problem. Okay, so the problem is I was trying to input from the front of the machine. And then input from outside. Okay, input from output side forbidden. So let me just do that. Item auto output. Alright. Can you change that to where you can allow input to the front of the machine? Alright, so that's a bit annoying. So then say, yes, middle button. Say select, I don't even know. 34, next, start. Follow. That was my problem, okay. Crafting 22. 15 to 34, okay. Gotcha, 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 gotcha. Alright, that's it, stream over. No. Hey, there it's finished. So that solves that problem. And then we can take this guy. Now we can have power to the subnetwork. There's all my pumps. Alright, so let's just try to build a little machine. For me, P2P, it transfers 32 channels from the main Me controller using one channel on the other Me. My hands are sweaty, I don't know if I'm going to be able to... Uh-oh. Let's see if this works. I know, I'm struggling. Oh, hi, Cat. Cat's peeking over the computer like, what the hell's going on here? Alright, there you go. Yep. Goodbye, Cat. Oh boy. Alright, so I want to try... emphasis on try. Try to automate the processing of... Where the hell is the patterns? Recipe. So recipe for a blank pattern. Honestly, isn't even that bad. Also, we need to find the crafting table. Isn't there like a crafting table that's used for this? Opening another 9 EV upgraded bags. Damn! I'm actually jealous. Spring cleaning, I don't even know. Sell workbench. When you first started AE, maybe you dumped a bunch of your items into 1K drives, but now you want to clean them up, or empty them to reuse them in making higher tier ones. The Me input output port will allow you to fill or empty your drives by connecting to the rest of the network. You can use the Cell Workbench to format your drives so they only contain the stuff you want. Remember, more item types mean less space overall. You can set them to lapis, for example, then put them in the Me port with the transfer direction, all that good stuff. You can go to its Workbench. Okay. What's going on, AQ? Crafting terminal, pattern terminal. Is it just that? No circuits, rip. Nothing like some good old network engineering. Yeah. Trying to figure out all this amazing stuff. Yeah, keeping your network happy. We're going to need that at some point. I don't think it had anything to do with a lot. Oh, here we go. Making... Well, that's patterns. Making patterns quick. So that's a pattern encoder. Shift click button. So what the hell's the difference between that and just what I'm already doing? I don't know, I guess I'll have to find out. Energy acceptor. Alright. If you wanted automated crafting, you'll have to connect a molecular assembler interface to the network. So, which is a thing that I've seen in some of the videos. So, say I got a blank pattern here. It's that's processing pattern. So I want this. Exit that out. Put that in. Now, blank pattern. Oh, okay. We want this as our pattern. So we want blank pattern for that. Boom. So now we have the pattern for blank patterns. Would I just put that here? No. And this can only be made in a crafting table. One possible configuration is to stack moleculars and interfaces in a checkerboard pattern as one multi-block. I'm excited for getting my rocket and finally doing that stuff. Very nice. So I wish you the best of luck with that, AQ. 24 nichrome and 4x cables and other crap. Molecular assembler can be connected to 5 interfaces for more crafting capacity, but it will be slower. I'm just trying to figure out what automatic crafting table, unless I hook it up to these. Place your pattern in the meat interfaces. So here's the meat interface. Oh, do I need a solid block interface for this? So then say blank pattern. Okay, creates blank pattern right there. Encoded pattern. Ah, blank pattern. Okay. So craft 100 of them. So it's missing all of these. Connect the meat interface to the machine. So let's get some aluminum plates, some quartz glass. I also like how it doesn't show that anymore, the crafting that I tried starting up. Don't know why it stopped it. Blank pattern. 33, next. Oh, I see my problem. Okay, so I started with the pure Certus. Okay. So that's why it won't craft that. Start. So now connect a molecular assembler to the meat interface. You can set the pattern to allow substitutions. Oh. Using substitutions, no. So could I put this back in? Damn it. Prevent crafting as substitutions of input components if all patterns available per ingredient are disabled to be substitutions. So allow crafting as substitutions of input components. So could you change this one, or would you have to make a brand new one every time? What's going on, Carlos? The interface needs to be connected to the machine. Which machine are you talking about, though? Connect the meat interface to the machine. Are you talking... you can change. I think if you put it in the bottom slot, you can set it again. I think that did work. Scheduled. Uses whatever. Molecular assembler machine. Okay, so we don't even know what that is yet. Crafting can be a pain, so why not automate it? These can hold a single pattern each. However, if you place an ME interface against it, you can use it to craft any of the patterns in it. You can use multiple with the same MA. Oh wait, you can use multiple with the same molecular assembler. And given how expensive they are now, that might be a good idea. These do not require a channel, but do require network access. Damn! Some special glass. Since they do that, is that good? Molecular assembler. They're very worth it. I was waiting for your reaction. Yeah, they're not cheap. So, device online, device online. I don't know if that's good enough just to do that. 10. Start. Okay. So I have 160 in there. Let's craft 15 again. There it goes. No need to connect it, it gets the power from the interface. Well, the power, yeah, I was just wondering how the items get back into it, that's the only thing, so let's do this. 5 next craft. And it just pumps right back in, I guess. Okay. That's actually really nice. So that handles all of our crafting. So let's say we want to have me interfaces crafted. Take our blank patterns. Exit that out. That's not what I wanted to do. So, HV assembler. I'd assume we have to hook up an assembler. Shapeless crafting. Yeah, no. So, Shift Control A. Boom. The interface provides and extracts the items. Yeah, you're talking about... Wait. Oh, I see. Yeah, this pumps in and takes out. Yeah. It's so convenient, it's maddening. That's why I was wondering. Like, it seemed too easy. You can place several interfaces on each side. Oh, yeah. So, what you're saying is you could do that. So, say you could have an interface with what? There's 3, 6, 9 patterns. And then you have, well, let's put this up here real quick. Boom, boom. So you could have 9 times, what was there, 6 faces? You could craft 54 different things from one molecular assembler. And then say if you wanted to just connect this back up. Although each of these would be a channel then. That's why people rush it. So now, yeah, you would run into the problem of too many channels. Boom, boom. There won't be a channel. Right, hold on. Interfaces. The interfaces not count as a channel? Into a network, interfacing with machines. Let's see. Yes, but all recipes will be dependent on this one assembler, which will be slower with crafting. True, but I mean, you really wouldn't be crafting... I mean, right away, I wouldn't be crafting all on the same thing unless, well, maybe I would be. Interfaces do count as a channel. The AE2 blocks already communicate just by touching with each other, you just need a cable to be connected. Oh, okay. LPX Imzo, what's going on? How long will you be streaming for? Not really sure. Why? What's up? Welcome to the channel. Don't know if we've ever seen you before, so welcome. So hold on. 1 of 8 channels. So that's probably why it still says only 1 of 8 channels, because it's connecting to all these, but it doesn't even matter. So yeah, because these are all connected, that actually crafts up everything. Ah. If you want like millions of something, you can do the reverse and connect 6 assemblers to 1 interface to speed this shit up. Oh, okay, so you're saying then also you could just go... we'll place it over here, so... Boom, 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 boom. 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 Does that work just as good there? It's green, so it looks like it should work. Was just curious, and yeah, first stream I catch. People usually just call me LP. LP or LPI? I'll say LP. But all good. Yeah, welcome in. I'm not sure how long we were going to be. This was only kind of just like a spur-of-the-moment thing, just because I couldn't figure out for the life of me of how to get this machine to work. I was having a problem where the crafts were scheduled, but they wouldn't actually craft, because I was trying to put the interface on the front of the machine, and even if you allow inputs from output sides, it still doesn't allow operations through the front face of the machine. So I was struggling with that, and now we're just kind of messing around with some other stuff. The checkerboard pattern is the best of both worlds. You get speed and pattern storage. So you're, yeah, for your thing, you're saying checkerboard pattern kind of like... Actually, you could just do something like this, couldn't you? Could you do this? Does this actually work? It's red. Device currently online. Uh, 2x2x4. So that's too big. So what's your experience there, LPI, or LP with Gregtech New Horizons? You might need to have it be 5 and connect it with a cable directly. Haven't tasted that particular thing. So this is okay. It likes that. That's fine. 2 by 2 by 4. 2 by 2. Yeah, 2 by 2. 2 by 2 by 4. You can make this 4 tall. Whoa. What was that? That's actually really crazy. You need dense cables. Oh, that's right. Okay, so dense cables can have 32 channels, just like each face of the ME controller. Dense cables. So 4 makes sense. 8 times 4. Molten. Okay, rubber. Okay, so you have to use a special type of rubber. And some of those take other stuff. Yeah, you can connect up to 8 things, I believe, on regular covered cables, or maybe 16s. It is 8, I do believe. Something like that anyhow. You can make the 3x3x3 you made before, you just need to use a dense ME cable. So let's try that out. But technically it should be... Hold on, let's also use the network visualization tool. I don't know what the red things are. Red's considered something. So channels and nodes, everything. Yeah, so there's 8 there, that's why it doesn't like all that. So that's why it would also be good, though, eventually to make more sub-networks. Figure out how to do that, so you don't have to worry about using expensive-ass, dense cables. Yeah, red equals disconnected. So how could... Let's test out maybe seeing how we could make... Could we make this a subnetwork? Me P2P will help you on dense cable usage. So is there a way we could use the P2Ps here? P2P tunnel. Make sure you don't connect all of your crafters to a single dense cable because that will be out of channels again. But I thought this is only considered one channel. Hold on, let's do this. Dense covered. Every block is 1. Oh, each interface channel is 1. Okay, so this would be only 1. This would be more than that. Each interface occupies a channel that has a trace back to the controller. Alright. So in this instance, would it be good to use P2Ps? I don't know how these... you can only use 2 anyways, so never mind. You'd have to have like one channel go into another one. Let's test this out. Every crafter and every interface takes its own channel. So this here would be 2, 4, 6, 7. Even though it only shows 1. Yeah, molecular does not use a channel. Yeah, which makes sense, because then that would show that. But then this doesn't make sense. You just disconnect there. You connect here. Oh, okay. There's, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's already 6 there. And then 7, 8, whatever. And it doesn't want to use the rest of those. Make teleportation, yes. Might be wrong then, sorry, all good. These molecular structures are weird. It only seems to use one channel, regardless of how many interfaces there are. No, it uses more depending on the interfaces. So this one has one interface, it only uses one channel. This one had 2, 4, 6, so it was using 6 channels here. P2Ps teleport data from one side to the other, be it redstone, me channels, or other stuff. Each P2P side uses one channel, so a P2P tunnel uses 2 total. Oh my goodness. At least I'm slowly starting to understand a little bit at a time, so we can figure out this all eventually. So that... hold on. That'll craft a lot of the same item very fast. So let's do this. How you doing though, Ingalls? So let's try and automate. Actually, in order to do that, we do need the assembling machine. So we'd be better off at making towers. Oh, really? So this doesn't connect to that. Interesting. I do this. Put any cover on the dense cable. You can put it on the cable, but it doesn't look like it's... In effect, you can compress a dense cable of channels through a P2P to 2 channels, transfer the P2P link through a cheap cable, then decompress the dense cable at the tunnel's exit. Yeah, which I'd have to figure out how to do. Put a P2P on the control and pass a cable without touching or connecting to another network and another P2P where you want to take the channels. Are you saying to do that right now? It doesn't connect, but you can put it there. Oh, I gotcha, yeah. I would want it to connect though. So, say this can have 32 channels on it now, this cable, and these can only have 8. But I could have, say, technically 32 machines, if you don't count this. I could have 32 machines, like say 16 stacked up here, 16 stacked up here, connected via, I don't even know what you'd want to say, just like some more cables just sticking out the side like that. And I should be okay. Yes, you are saying to do that. I might have to make another me system a little bit bigger this time. Hold on, let me get some glass. And I grab my building wand. Different color does not connect, but the standard cable connects to all. Yeah. You need one P2P on each side of your controller to pull out 32 channels for P2P. Yeah. Try and keep this all safe if we can. Each side of the controller provides 32, so just one side will be enough. It's very loud. Alright, sweet. So the roof should be fine overhead. And now we can make another P2P system. Alright. So let's try and make it with one controller for now, although eventually we can expand into more. Hold on. Four, 5, 6, 7. I'm just gonna make the max size one just to like compare. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we're just gonna start with one. Start over here. We'll start it a little bit higher into the sky. Alright, so we do have to have energy coming in at one spot. Make it simple, a controller, put a P2P directly on it, pass a cable, and P2P. Okay, let's get this set up here and then we'll try that. We'll try testing out the P2Ps. P2P tunnels, thank you very much. Energy acceptor. Just gonna use cetane boosted diesel. Should power up everything. We need batteries as well. Alright, so we got the battery. Perfect. Why not use AE Infinite Energy Cell? I don't even know what that is. Are you talking about this thing? Helps with fluctuating power. Energy cells store up to 2 million AE. They do not accept power directly, but are used to buffer some power in an already existing mean network. Energy cells do not use a channel. So let's just take one of these. I assume we just plop it right there, huh? So this is the max power we can store then. That's what that means, doesn't it? Flux, joules. Okay, so yeah, this is the max we can store. 2.1 million. Energy usage, energy generation, 1,000. Okay, now we're starting to understand the numbers. It's a creative energy cell for AE2, has infinite creativity. Neutronium energy cell. Okay, I see. Well, I would... If I didn't care about energy, I'm also trying to learn, like, maybe what's going to draw too much energy from my system. So I want it to be a little bit more realistic, at least for these measures, just to kind of see what's going on. The normal one is just to buffer power for the system. Yeah. You don't need to use the energy acceptor because the energy controller will do the same, so you can save space and resources. Alright, let's do that then. Boom, boom, boom. Well, it just said it wasn't going to accept energy directly. 2 million stored power. Yeah, so that doesn't work. But we'll just do this then. Controller. Pump it into the controller and then, yeah. $144,000. What's going on, Jurgly? I don't know if that's true for old AE2. I think until you have the wireless connectors, the energy won't be the problem. Yeah. The controller accepts energy directly. Each battery stores a quantity, and you can put as many as you want. And it has tiers. So yeah, like that. We're already storing up energy there. 800,000. Which is quite beautiful. So yeah, we just dump it right into the controller, which is not bad. So now, you're saying the P2P tunnels. Which actually... Technically, you would probably want... say this like branched off. Rather than being directly on, so that way you could have more channels. So, for example, you'd want boom, boom, and then just boom. Yeah, okay. So that way, yeah, you can continue to use more of the channels, you don't have to worry about anything. Funny enough, that's not even considered a channel. Straight onto the controller face. Well, I don't know why you would do that, because then if you have it just connected here, you still get to use it as a storage, but then you open up another face, basically, for doing more stuff with it. No cable or dense cable. What do you mean? Hold on, time... Sorry, I meant me P2P thing. Oh, okay. Yeah, so... /time set 500. So there's that, P2P. And then say, just have an interface or something, I don't even know. Like that. Batteries can be placed anywhere on the network, not directly on the controller, yeah. Slash game rule. No game rule called do daylight 0. Slash game rule. Oh, daylight cycle. Daylight cycle 0. What the hell? Slash game rule daylight cycle 0. You bastard. Achievement give. Now connect them with a memory card. Invalid machine. Successfully saved settings. Successfully loaded settings. So P2P frequency 197B. So you would have to have one memory card for every P2P tunnel. Actually, hold on. Saved settings. Okay, maybe not. Loaded settings. You need space between do daylight cycle 0. That's what I did. Right there, right? Oh, do daylight cycle slash game rule do daylight cycle 0. You need to power the cables with Certus cable. Just like that. Capital B. Big D. Humongous. Okay, hold on. See you, G-Fug. Capitalize D in daylight. Alright. Crazy that actually matters. Okay. Humongous D. Do not disconnect. Alright, so let's do this. Hold on. Saved. Loaded. So I just try game rule do day. Slash game rule do day. And tap the tab to autocomplete. Huh. Does it exist in 1.7? Maybe not. Oh, plus one cable from... Okay. Just kind of like that. Oh, do daylight cycle. Okay. Ah, there we go. I think we got it now. Yeah. You can autocomplete commands with the tab button. Yeah, we got her. So, okay, so this is all powered up. The P2P should be working now. On the other side is effectively that controller face. See how to be big as well. Yeah. So this P2P is working. Growing your brain. Trying to, at least. What's going on, Slicer?
Place the cursor over the P2P to see if it is online. P2P tunnel me device online, linked input side. Oh, see, it shows you the frequency as well. Output side. Need to connect both with a memory card. I already did. DFC9, A92, DFC9, A92, 197B is the first. Yeah, so they are connected. Connectado. So these are all good. Me interface. Now replace the interface with a dense smart Me cable. Oh, hold on. If I do that, if I destroy... Oh, it stays... Okay. So I can have 32 channels of stuff, like say 32 machines hooked up to this line now, and all 32 from here feeds back to the controller through the 8 here. Love P2P subnetting. My background is networking. Oh, is networking. It feels so great, which is pretty damn awesome. Yep. Dang. Input side, output side. To make it clear to you, it is better to put smart dense cables on the end of the P2P. On the end of the P2P, between P2P. You can have 32 channels and other stuff, you said. Yeah. Which is actually crazy. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me think. So say if I had, obviously, the Me network here, I could do this. I'm not going to power it, I'm just going to do an example. So we just have 8 here. Boom. And then, let's get rid of this guy. Hold on. What are these? Me smart cables. Oh, they're not the dense ones. 2 days ago, I drove to a friend's repairs the internet cable because the old one was eaten by a rabbit. So it's good to be able to repair stuff like that. I was just trying to think of how we could add on another 32 channels to just put a dense on the controller too. Wait, are you saying like right here? Obviously like right here, you're saying put a dense one? Before the P2P. Oh, because if I don't have that, if I don't have this, it probably won't work properly, right? Because it has to, so it compresses here, and then decompresses here. Get another P2P tunnel. Yeah, so if I wanted to, I could have, say, this is technically one channel for this line, since there's like one P2P tunnel. So I could have, well, say this is one. Technically I could have 31 other P2P lines on this line to just keep sub-networking off a sub-network. Works straight. Do you need that dense cable on the controller? Doesn't it work the same? That's what I don't know. I don't even know any of this. That's why I'm just trying to go off of you guys for now. But that's why I'm curious to see, like, obviously you just sub-network off of this, then you can have, boom, another 32 lines off of this guy, and then say you could have, boom, 1, 2, oh, 2, 3. Another sub-network, 32 lines. I'm not sure how it works exactly. I think you should check the channels if you attach it onto the P2P lines. So let's try this. Show everything. So a funny thing is, it's showing all that stuff, but it's not showing anything for this. That's not entirely correct. I made a mistake earlier. You don't need channels for P2P tunnels. Just power, I think. Like, as in you can have P2P on each side of the controller. Your subnet is just to give out the channels for the P2P tunnels. Yet P2P does not pass energy. Right, so that's why you have to have, obviously, energy feeding in. So then say you could just have this line, say we'll do a network here, network there, network there, network there. I know I could space these closer with different colored cables. But couldn't I do that for, like, powering these guys? So, like, that sends power to all three of these. And then this could just be separate lines for who knows what. And I could have 32 lines on this subnetwork. Just subnetwork off the subnetwork. Do they not need channels? You need to make another connection on the other side with the glass fiber. This way you break the network. Oops. If you want to recompress the channels, they were previously decompressed with another P2P. Move them somewhere else you can. Okay, so I like how it doesn't tell me anything about channels here, so hold on. Let me, throw stuff away. No Blaze, that network is taking from the same 32 side, just another P2P tunnel with the same ID. Put one interface to use the one channel, yeah, so that whole setup would move channels, but only 32. Crafting terminal. Just get all this stuff over there. So can you not... I guess you can't put those on there, can you? It kind of sucks. Oh wait, I think I put it on backwards. What the heck? Interface terminal. For the AE visualizer thing, you need a device that consumes channels for it to recognize a network. Gotcha. So like now we should have something. Those don't consume channels? What the hell? Well, I guess maybe they don't because they don't have any storage. Hold on. Alright. Let's dump this all in. Click on the controller to set the network in the device memory. Hold on. So click on the controller to set the network in this device memory. So there's items, all that now. Should use channels regardless. Maybe it isn't a network if you have no storage. I don't actually know for sure. Yeah, that's why we got this now, so hold on. Let's take these back out. Which now we have storage and it doesn't even... What the hell? Show nodes. Unless one's just P2P links. Which we should have a P2P link between these two. What the hell? Click the controller. Ah, okay. So you have to right click, that's what I think Carlos was saying. Oh, okay. I got you now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But now if I do... Can I not... Oh shit. Crafting terminal. It does not like... Interesting. Maybe you need to right-click the controller with the network tool. I'm not sure. So those connect. But now we just need these. Alright. Crafting terminal interface, pattern, processing pattern. Interface, pattern. Matua, what's going on? You can't attach partial blocks, like terminals, into dense cables. Yeah. You'll learn that the hard way. So yeah, I got one. Interesting, so 1, 1, 1. I guess it doesn't really count them until it gets up to there. The dense cable is too dummy thick to accept these panels that attach to less thick cables. Yeah, right. Clear interface and molecular on the other side of the P2P now. Oh, you're talking about over here, right? Yeah, this side of the P2P. So molecular, not the crafting unit. Hold on, let's go grab some more. So we'll do branch out a line this way. So it's like orange? I don't know if it likes that. Okay, then we can make some patterns. Okay, in order to make the patterns, hold on, recipe. So we glowstone, quartz, certus quartz, aluminum. Alright, so pattern terminal. We want... Bastard, that's not what I wanted. Alright. Use interchangeable blank pattern. Encoded pattern. So put this into this guy. Look at the network now with the tool. Okay. So yeah, we have one, two, three total in here. It comes back into there. Compressed back into 3. Which we don't even need. Well, maybe not yet. Maybe we can mess around. We can try and get 32 of these interfaces and see if it'll work without having another dense cable on this side. So let's make another one. Let's come over here once. Let's do... just a big old crafting grid. That's gonna be a lot. So there are 4, 8, and then another 5 in there. So it should be 13. Should be 13 there and 3 there, so it should be a total of 16. I don't know why it's only... Note, if you use interchangeable resources for a recipe in a pattern, the system will use even the stupid, hyper-expensive stuff to craft your wooden stick. Just beware. All good. But yeah, good to know that. So I don't know why these are red, unless it's not using them because it doesn't like it. Only connect 8 interfaces. Oh, let's see, it only likes... can only do 8 of them at a time. So there's 3, there's 6. 11 channels going through normal cable. Yeah, that's the P2P network that we got going on. The molecular assemblers don't use a channel. Contact point with the molecular assembler can only carry 8 channels. But we're in contact with the me interface, so I don't understand why it wasn't. Oh, blocks as the interface are like the 8 okay. So this will have 6 then. Yup. And then we could also... alright. So we could just do... that. Okay, there's 8. And then say technically if we wanted to, could we do this? Boom. Yeah, there's 8 and 8, so it's 16. And then 3 there is 19. So already it works, yeah, you don't need to have another 32 cable on this side. Awesome. So that does work. I mean, it doesn't look the greatest. I'd probably separate them out in my base if I really wanted to. But let's take a look at our network. So the interface is 190 AE per tick. $290 AE per tick for all those. Really, it's not even all that bad. So right now we're producing, well, we're probably producing way more than that, but we are producing more than we are using, which is beautiful. Cool. So now we could just give these some random recipes. We'll get rid of whatever. We won't get rid of it. We will we'll do this. Oh, see, it doesn't like it like that. Huh. You can merge 32 P2Ps into a single big dense cable for large transit subnets. The controllers for these get a bit complex, but they carry a lot of channels. That's what I was wondering, is like you could make hold on, let's test this out. Don't touch it. Every time you update the network, it will disconnect something. Respect the limit of 8. Yeah, it did not like that. So, we have one P2P network. I'm trying to think of how to make another subnet off of this. Pathfinding of the channels can be jank. Yeah, it's something alright. So hold on, let's test out that. Grab a memory chip. It won't, I don't know how long you've been at this, but P2P is point to point, so like teleporting on face of a block to another face, so the subnet for the P2P is only really useful once you need more than 32 channels through a cable. Then get another P2P channel on the controller so you can teleport 32 more channels. So you can't have, say, over like 100 some channels come through this. You know, you'd have 32 that can connect to this line and then all that. Which I guess would make sense if you did, what is it? Let's take our controller block here. If you take away for the power in the back, which even then, I'd have to figure out. Maybe, I don't know if there is another way. Oh no, you could. You could do an energy acceptor or something like that connected to the back of it. But just say you had only one side. These do not count as a channel. That is not even a channel up on the top. So you have 7 sides where you can have 32 channels. I mean, 7 times 32 is like over 200 channels anyways. Alright. So that makes sense. So then this guy, you would have, obviously, what? 4 sides on all of these that you could P2P stuff. Corners and everything. Realistically, you won't even be going over 100 channels most of the time, if that's what you're asking. Yeah, I was thinking you could have, like, say, a P2P network here. So this allows for 32 channels. And then I was thinking, well, you could have another P2P network like this. I was thinking you could do this. And then you could have 32 channels connected to this line that feeds back. And then you could have another one that's connected to 32 separate channels, and then you have like 100 channels going in through one main P2P. But yeah, I guess that does not work. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, that would just use the 32 original channels, so it's not worth it. Yeah. Yeah, you only get the 32 per controller face. Put another P2P on the controller and connect it to the cable. Wait, are you saying... So put a P2P here and then connect it to what? This cable here? Or are you talking about the one that I already have? You saying like this, Carlos? Sides don't have to be sacrificed for energy. You can get energy off of a dense cable that is full of channels with that white cable doohickey. Okay. What you already have. So this right here. Then obviously we got power. Saved settings. Loaded settings. So 17B DFC9. Okay, so they are different. Okay. So these three are going back this way, and they completely skip this line. I'm trying to understand what you're trying to solve. Well, I wasn't trying... So, I guess I already think I have my answer. I was just thinking that you could have... Just pretend this is already, like, a P2P. You know, you already got all this. So we'll just do this. So you have one line going out. That's your P2P tunnel, the purple stuff. And then you could have 32 channels here. Well, then I was thinking you could have 32 channels coming in on the side. So say you have like 32 machines all connected for auto crafting. And then this whole line only counted as one. That's what I was thinking beforehand. So this would count as one channel. And then you would have another line. This would only count as your second channel. But I realized that it does not matter. Like, that's not how that works. Or even if you had, you know, a P2P network out this way, that just doesn't work that way. Yeah, that won't work to separate the exit point of the two P2Ps. No, dense cable and normal cable. You can, but you can only put it on the network between the P2P. See, that would be 64 channels on one face. Right. Which wouldn't work. That's what I was trying to figure out earlier. It's better to design transit networks that you just break out wherever you need the channels. Yeah, and that's going to be my thing, trying to figure out all of that, like when to make a different sub-network or like a different P2P channel or whatever. Trying to figure out that stuff, when to use it, where to use it, is going to be the hardest part. But the more we practice around with it, which is what we're doing right now, obviously the better. Yeah, you would just use another P2P on another face. Right. It's a puzzle. So I'm just seeing... I don't know what Carlos... I'm sorry, Carlos. I really didn't understand what you were trying to have me do. I already read that. Dense cable, normal cable. What were you trying to have me do, Carlos? So we had the P2P tunnel. I just wanted to see what you were trying to think. But at least I got that kind of figured out, so that's nice. And then obviously, eventually, we can upgrade into... What is this? That's the... Does it always have to be a cube? Hold on. Back. Multi-block can be expanded up to 7x7x7, and it can be and can have 2 adjacent blocks in at most 1 axis, or it will be disabled. Whatever that means. Just try it out, okay? Yeah, I don't remember what the 2 adjacent blocks thing was. Put 2 P2Ps in the controller and connect it with the cable. So, like, here's the one P2P we have. Do you want me to connect another P2P on this line, or do you want me just to make a completely separate P2P? Man, this is bringing back some memories when I was learning the AE channels. Yeah, right? How long have you been messing around with them? Also, I'm not sure if we've ever seen you before. Is it Muta? Or Muta? He's talking about bundling the P2Ps into a single line. Now there are 64 channels. Oh. So, hold on. If you're saying just like do this and then have, say, saved settings, loaded and loaded, like that. So then DFC9 A92, DFC A9 A92. So that way you could have 64 channels. Well, you wouldn't be able to anyways because the cables. Muta, yes, I've played with AE2 on several playthroughs of various packs. Nah, no, that's not right. I was gonna say that didn't look right. The 8-channel cable and the P2P network, you need memory card per input. The 8-channel cable and the P2P network. So here's the 8-channel cable, P2P network. 2 separate P2Ps, but 1 line. You can put multiple outputs for 1 input. Okay. So, 1 P2P input to several outputs, but always a max of 32 channels. So you're just saying I could, if I wanted to, have it come out, say, to this, like a different line. Kind of like that, and then just connect it to have the 2 outputs, one going that way, one going that way. Yes, okay. But still, you would only be able to have... Could you do 32 channels there and then 32 channels here? Or use the new one? Yeah. But then you would still have to... Because you couldn't have them all operating at the same time. This would be a limit to 32 again, I'm pretty sure. Yes, but you would need 2 inputs. Okay. So then, say like this. So almost like that. You could have, say, 2 inputs connected to 2 outputs. So that they could be used almost like vice versa, like one could go to here or there. Yes, okay, alright. Put 2 P2Ps on the controller, connect the P2Ps with 1 cable for the power, extend that cable somewhere, put another P2P and extend a cable facing outward, pair them. So pretty much like this. With 1 cable. Yeah, they're connected with 1 cable right now. Pair them such that 1 on the controller is connected to 1 on the extended cable. Yeah, so saved, and then... Yes, like this. Now you take the second input and bind it to the output you want. So I'd say just do that. To reset the memory card, shift click on the air. Settings cleared. So you would shift click this one And then would you turn all of these into outputs? Obviously you'd have output there. Oh, shit. Save. Boom. Boom. Now you have 64 outputs, 32 on the first cable, 32 on the second, and now that's a transit network. 197B E1D8 DFC9. So I get how to connect it like this, but how do I make sure that these are actually connected, the tunnels, properly? Wait, linked to outputs. So you wouldn't even need this guy then, right? Now you connected two outputs to a single input, so now it's 32 channels again. It's the only thing I don't know. Hold on. Boom, 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 boom. I feel like it'd just be that, but that why not just do two separate? I also want to say thank you very much for everybody trying to help me out. I greatly appreciate it because I can only imagine how fun it is to try and teach somebody what to do. Now it's 64 channels on 2 cables. This way you shared 32 channels in the 2 P2P outputs because you use the same card memory in 2 P2Ps. A single frequency can have a max of 32 channels. Gotcha. Each input needs its own output, I think, so you need to link each input to their own output. Which makes sense, so you can only have 1 and 1. So, like, A is connected to A, for example, and then B is connected to B. So, but doing that, I mean, yeah, you have one line coming in here, but what would be the point of that when I could just connect it, say this didn't exist, but just connect it back this way? You know, what would the difference be between this and then that? You can have multiple outputs to a single input, but it's always limited to 32 channels per input. Yeah, so, okay. That's what I was trying to figure out. Place interfaces and check the network. Wants more than 32. Yeah, I would want more than 32. So then just say interfaces. Boom, boom, boom. Bundling them into a single cable allows you to transfer more P2P channels in a single cable. Two different subnets. Functionally no change. Need to give energy with the fiberglass. We do have that already. So there's the fiber right there. Powering up this. Right? Also, let's change this song. I don't know what the hell this one is. Getting ready to leave this world. They're gonna die? What the heck? Yeah, okay, hold on. Let's find something else. So, you could have 32 by 32 channels in a single cable and 32 different frequencies. Hold on. You're saying that the cable would equally distribute the channels onto the different controller faces. So yeah, what you're saying is, say, we can have 32... Okay, let's just turn off the music once. This is a little bit distracting. Or just turn it down. Okay, we're turning it down. So, we could have an input of all 32 channels, say, equally for every side. So, we have six sides times 32. We could have all the channels, technically, coming into one side via P2Ps. Needs to be managed by hand to ensure the connections aren't oversaturated. Set the same frequency for 2 outputs. We'll set the same frequency for 2 outputs as the input. That's the same. That's the same. DFC9A92, DFC9A92. One controller side equals 32 channels. Yeah. So like that's been the thing. Like I've been understanding that. That's why I'm confused. That's the thing that because the way that people were talking, it seemed like you could put more than 32 channels into one side via different routing. What's going on, Levi? I'm frightened because YouTube recommended me this stream. I think because your voice and accent is almost identical to mine. Really? What? Also, why is it nighttime? I set day-night cycle not to change. I don't understand that. Time set 500. Chat, what happened? Oh great, it's a thunderstorm. Slash weather clear. That's why. At first I thought this was an old video of mine or something. You used to play Gregtech New Horizons, or like a Minecraft mod pack with AE2. Say your subnet has a dense cable, 32 channels, so you can have up to 16 tunnel pairs. 16. Hello, kitty cat. Are you happy? You're not happy, kitty cat? Yeah, okay. Well, I do want to say welcome in, and it is kind of interesting that we have the same voice and everything, or the same sounding voice, or similar. It's only ever 32 aside if you want more channels. It's just more P2P tunnels on a bigger controller. Yeah, that's what I was thinking after I was like, okay, 32 on each side. Say your subnet has a dense cable, 32 channels, you can have up to 16 tunnel pairs. So 16 times 32 equals 512 channels through one dense cable, or 128 for a normal size cable. I'm just trying to think. So that's what's throwing me off now too. Like you say your subnet has a dense cable, 32 channels. You can have up to 16 tunnel pairs. I don't even know. Well, I gotta run. But enjoy the stream, champ. Thank you very much, Levi. We'll see you later. Oh, yeah. Because, like, I apologize. Like, I hear one thing. Like, I hear that you can only have 32 channels in one side. And then that message says something about 512 channels. But I don't know if that can go into a side or if that can only go into cables that then has to be then split up anyways. Your subnet and the network between the P2Ps. Yeah. I don't know. I might have to watch a lot more videos on subnetting, I guess, just to see some other explanations of it. All channels come out from the controller. Don't they come out from the controller? Don't they go into the controller? So you say you have all 9 of these channels. Those feed back into the controller there. Also, I see those 9. Oh yeah, that's right. So there's 12 that's going into there. Actually, because we have these all set here, let's see if we could have more. Wait, that's not right. I need other blocks. So there's 28. Right now your subnet is a fiberglass 8-channel, and each tunnel needs a channel. Yeah, right now your subnet is a fiberglass 8 channels, which is these guys.
and each tunnel needs a channel, and you need 2 tunnels, so 4 pairs of tunnels, providing 32 channels each, so 128 channels max, before you would need to upgrade. Touching your controller is your main network, and between the P2P is your subnet. Yeah. So you say between, you mean like if I were to build something in between like that? What if you were to go above 32, connect both P2Ps on the same line? So hold on, let's see, we have 28 there. See what we can mess around with. So that doesn't even work. Ruh-roh, Raggy. If you exceed 32, it's a race condition who gets connected first and then gets the channel. Rest are left without a channel and you don't connect. You connected those to your subnet by accident. How did I do that? There's a short circuit on the new row of interfaces. Oh, right here. Okay. Think, right? Yeah, okay, there. That's what happened. So, yeah, 32. So there's 32 coming from here, and then those 3 don't get used. So yeah, you can't have more than 32 anyways. So you just connect it all to there. Because say if this was just one thing, if you connected it to the subnetwork, it's just not going to work. Furthest disconnect turned red. Yeah, because those are too far away. Looks like both P2Ps are linked to that one face. Yes, because people were saying to link one input to 2 outputs, I thought. Unless... I go from the opposite direction. Clear. Boom. 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 Try it that way. I don't even know. Get rid of the 3 interfaces and they will reconnect. Get rid of those 3. Controller side can only be input. Okay. So there's 3. Boom. Boom. Wait, hold on, I messed that up. Boom. Boom. So yeah, 3 coming in there. What the hell? Yeah, 32 coming in here. Also, why does it show it's connected over there? If I place more here, hold on. Okay, so obviously it doesn't work. Always select the frequency of a controller if not inverting the network. So it's 32 again. Two cables are connected to the bottom. Yeah, they're both connected for power. I don't know. I guess
for the easiest thing for me from now on, for now, until I get way more advanced later on, and until I guess I get a further understanding, I'm not going to try adding more stuff onto the subnet. I'm just going to have my 32 channels going into each side and then just call it good. They're using the same subnet, so it visualizes the P2P purple like that. Okay. Same subnet. Which, couldn't I just, would that break those apart? It would. And then those disconnect. Okay. Why don't I clean memory card? It won't work for 50 machines. Yeah, now they're two separate networks, yes. You don't even need a lot of channels until you automate everything. Right. So, I think I confused myself for like a good majority of like over an hour. But yeah, so that's very nice. So there's all that, and then obviously if you ever wanted to, we could upgrade hello. Does this always have to be a square? I guess they wouldn't even know unless we had some power hooked up to it. Okay, let's try something relating to trying just to like automate, which is why I kind of wanted to practice this. Probably don't, but you probably need to learn by making mistakes, so just don't design your controller too hard to rebuild on the live world. Yeah. So that's the thing that I'm like, obviously it's very, very important for the placement of the controller, otherwise we're gonna have fun moving it later on. It's hard to understand, yeah. We'll give it some practice over time and see what happens. Some dense cables. So if I just do this. So I might just do this so it looks a little bit cooler. Yoink. Alright, so now we can just open this back up. Blank pattern. Open up our crafting terminal. Hello? Crafting terminal. Oh, I got rid of my power on accident. Online. Craft these up. Should have enough of everything. Craft, say, 10. Next. Missing. Do I not have any of the quartz? I have that, which I thought can be a substitution. Yes. Using substitutions. No. Why can I not use substitutions? Pattern terminal. Allow crafting as substitutions of input components. Prevent substitutions of input. Allow. Okay, so there we go. Don't know what the difference between the two is, but okay. Reasoning checkerboard is that one interface can interact with two assemblers at once. There are good guides for min-maxing controllers too, but they can be very overwhelming before you understand how things work. Yeah. We probably won't worry about min-maxing or doing all that stuff until we get way later on, where we might actually have to worry about resource management and space and all that other fun stuff. Alright, let's craft 10 again. Next. Missing. Obviously it's missing. What the hell? Using substitutions, no. Why does that not say yes? Allow crafting as substitutions. Using substitutions, no. It can be a substitution, yes. Make another one, okay. So, prevent substitutions, no. Allow and allow. Yes and yes, okay. Hey, no crafting CPUs available. Okay, I can solve that problem. Click arrow save. Oh, you mean like right here? You were talking about this arrow? Oh, clear it and remake it. So if I wanted to, I could put it in here. How could you clear this one? Oh, okay, that's how I was supposed to do it. Okay, I see now. Also, let me get my music going. I wonder how the old folks are at home. Ah, yes. Configure and save. Yep, we got her now. So that should work. We have crafting, storage, and components. So let's craft 10. We have a crafting CPU. Start. And it's done. Very nice. That's actually awesome. Alright, so let's try something. Oh man, I could only imagine something like automating circuits, like microprocessors. Take a more complicated recipe with several crafts. Who needs to make more than one item on different machines? Yeah. So like this guy, a microprocessor even. Well, maybe let's not go that advanced yet, even though I don't think that's all that advanced. But there's a lot of steps in that. Let's see some items that we might want to craft up. These guys, yeah, the engineering processors. The processors is what we want. Let's go back. Processor, recipe. So we got an assembler. Tutorial. Okay, we are going to autocraft some sticks in wood to make a wooden sword. Place electrical MV circuit, please. So there's that guy. Yeah, because we still need to power all this stuff, and jeez. So there's an assembler. We need a forming press. Assembler. They're all LV. Alright, so now we need me interfaces. Boom, boom, boom. Damn you. Inscriber. Boom, boom. All right. Two forming presses, one assembler. And we also want diamond plates. So we get a cutting machine. Just to pretend as if we didn't have the plates, but obviously we're not going to wait for the plates, we're going to put stuff in. So I'll wait for later to use that one, but there's that. So there's all this. Redstone. Hold on, chat. Alright, 1 second. I'm gonna go feed the cat real quick. Use batteries in the machines. Well, in the real save, we're still gonna have to figure out how to power them. Catches everything at the same voltage. Use batteries in the machines. Alright, I'm gonna be right back. I go feed the cat. Alright, there we go. What do I want to use use for power generation? Just do gas generator. Generator. Hello? There we go. Semi-fluid generator, combustion generator. Cetane. Alright, keeps those all charged. So let's see, diamond plates. Now I can get recipe. Okay, so now I need to make some patterns. Me pattern terminal. We need to clear that out. Get recipe. Boom. Craft that one. Clear. Recipe, that one. Boom. Craft that one. Silicon press. So that's gonna get silicon. That's gonna get the diamond. So yeah, now I can craft this. Let's look at all the craftables. So you craft all that. And then engineering processor. Hold on a second. Let's get this guy. Recipe. Assembler. Boom. So eventually I'm going to have to figure out how to use fluids in here as well. Dual interface. So there's that. What does the dual interface do? Switch ME dual interface GUI. Oh, is this for all fluids? I think fluids are just buckets or cells maybe. Well, that works there. Molten redstone, yes. I don't even know how to mess with fluids yet. Oh, neat. So molten redstone. Needs terminal fluid and cell fluid cells. Hold on, I don't even know how to do that yet. Fluid storage, AE2 fluid crafting. Oh, I'm getting another phone call. Hold on. Alright, sorry about that. Needs terminal fluid and fluid cell. So is that dual interface? I don't even know what these are. Are these connected? They are. You also need terminal patterns for fluid. So that's for fluid patterns, terminal, not interface. Terminal pattern fluid. ME fluid processing pattern. ME fluid pattern terminal. Terminal pattern fluid. This is it. The one that I already have. Fluid pattern. Oh wait, fluid terminal. Okay, yeah. Okay, so there's that. Oh, so that's how we dump them. Where the hell did fluid go? Hello? Our dual interface is Gregtech exclusive. I had to do some wonky interface mess to get fluids and items into my machines. Craft the processor in it. Hold on. I can't craft through this one. Fluid pattern. All that fluid that I just had is gone now too. Okay, there we go. Hey, so there it shows the molten redstone right there. So do I need to make another, make the process pattern that goes liquid in the fluid? Okay. Processor, that's not what I wanted. Recipe. Not what I wanted. Stop trying to use that. Oh my gosh. Recipe over that. Give me the fucking recipe. Oh my gosh. There we go. Shift click that. So there's that. Prevent crafting as substitutions. No. Merge the same items. I don't even know what the hell that means. Prevent substitutions, whatever. So we got that. Boom. Perfect. So now get rid of this. Put that in. Creates one engineering processor, one engineering circuit, silicon, and that. So let's craft 10 of those. Craft. Available. Start. Scheduled. Why are you just scheduled? Something's not working here. Crafting CPU is busy. Machine input set to accept from the top. Yeah. Probably need to configure the machines to allow input from the output face. Nope, we already got that going. Bytes used 42 out of 1 kilobyte. No power to the machines. There's power. We got power. I mean, I know it would probably run out, but we have power. They're all connected. We got all that. Dual interface. I don't know what that's supposed to be for. Yo, we have food in there. I don't know if that's the way it's supposed to be. Battery bank side is wrong. Oh. That would probably help. So it's crafting these. Okay, so it tells you which one is crafting and then schedule. Okay. Thank you, Carlos. So it's making all these. We had, hold on. Oh, we already had these in storage. Okay, get rid of those. Add more coprocessors. Oh, you're talking about add more of these? So if I add one more, what does that do? I know it's supposed to make it faster. Coprocessors too. So got all those going. Okay, hold on. 25. If you modify crafting CPUs while there's a job queued, it will cancel it. Gotcha. Each coprocessor will use a machine or craft. Okay, so I see. So yeah, if I'd want to use all 3 machines at the same time, I'd have to have 3 coprocessors. Which doesn't make sense because all 3 of those are running. This won't allow more jobs. You have to create another crafting CPU multi-block if you want to craft more than one at a time. You have to create another crafting CPU multi-block. You're saying if I want to make more than one CPU at a time, or if you're saying if I want to use more than one machine, because it's using more than one machine. If you don't have it, it's no problem. It will craft one by one with one coprocessor. Yeah. Coprocessors allow for the main auto-crafting processor to craft multiple kinds of items for a single job. So if I have one coprocessor,
it'll only be able to make like the silicon presses, and then after it's done with that, then it'll make the diamond presses, and then after that it'll go and make these. But if I have like 2 or 3, it'll make 2 components at the same time. Yeah, multiple kinds of items at the same time. Yeah. So you want to craft 1 engineering, 1 logic. You'll have to wait for the engineering to complete before you can request the logic. Yeah, unless I have, obviously, more of these guys. So let's do this. Actually, that's probably way overkill. Let's try craft like 10. If you want more jobs, you need more auto crafting processors. Okay. So yeah, there we go. These will operate at the same time. And then this just operates whenever everything else is ready. It's actually really cool. Yeah, you'll use 1 processor per machine. And then say if it was like in a more extravagant craft, you would use 1 processor per machine, and then you would probably use 1 processor per like molecular assembler, which really you don't have to worry about that much because they're quite fast compared to the machines. Speed also depends on the machine. Yeah, so if these were HV machines, they would operate a lot faster. Each job also has a memory cost. A job's memory cost cannot exceed the memory of the AC processor. So if you want a massive job, you need additional processors. So I say craft. Okay, so this is the memory you're talking about. This memory is almost 10,000 KB, or 10 KB, and then this is 1 KB. Yeah, or instead of having more processor, well no, you just have to upgrade your processor to more storage then, right? Not have more. Machines get really, really fast at higher tiers, yeah. The more items you craft, the more memory it requires, yeah. Unless we just do this. Hold on. Boom. So that's like 1 processor there. Craft 100. Next. So yeah, processor 3 KB. Exactly. I don't remember if you can add more processor blocks to the same unit or it's capped 1 per. Nope, you can add more on, which is kind of nice. Oh, I see. So this will use almost all of my stuff. So that's kind of nice that it gives you like warnings, like okay, you're gonna use like all your shit. You can. Neat. Damn. This is gonna be crazy. Just remember not to break things while crafting, yeah. So what I think I might do... Like, just trying to think of where I want this. Because obviously we're gonna want the max size at some point. We put it all the way down at the bottom of the world. I have to make sure I give myself enough like height. And then obviously like the rockets and stuff, the platform for the rockets can be above that fly out, and then this can be below, and then we can like branch out into wherever parts of the base. This is so conveniently simple
It's so annoying. I prefer to do more work. Yeah, I mean, honestly, some of it I mean, you think about it, like, compared to other mod packs, I was kind of expecting a little bit more, but it's not too bad. I just remember not breaking things while crafting. Fluid type stays in the machine and locks the machine because I canceled the craft. Oh, you're telling, like, you broke a machine because of that? Damn. Well, I don't know. I think that was a pretty successful stream. So we were able to actually learn quite a bit. Learned a little bit of sub-networking earlier. Also learned a little bit of the P2Ps. And now also we actually started, what do you want to call it? Started automating some of the crafting, which these processors normally are kind of annoying. Yeah, I have to go and toss these in. But nope, now we just click it and it crafts all on its own, which is kind of nice. I've had that happen so many times. Oof. Alright. Well, yeah, I think that's going to do it probably for today. Tomorrow, I guess we'll probably jump back into the real world, like our other world. And then I don't even know. That's the thing I have to figure out. Because it would be nice, yes, to automate a lot of our stuff. Just click, like, okay, I want a bunch of plates, and then boom. Just have that all there. I guess I could maybe try to keep... No, I say that I want to keep it, but that's not going to be like that. We'll have to figure out where we want our AE2 system. Then we're going to have to start getting some other machines built solely for the AE2 system to use, because the MV and the LV I want to keep upstairs, so maybe we'll worry about power production and where we're going to set up our system. When you cancel a craft, the items and fluids already in won't get retracted, thus the machines can get clogged with junk. Oh. So yeah, even if you press cancel on the craft in the menu, that we wouldn't want to do that. Already learned the basics, heck yeah. I mean, you got to start somewhere. We've already gotten a good base knowledge, so that is really good. I want to say thank you very much to everybody for helping today. I greatly do appreciate all the help. I could not imagine how annoying it is sometimes just be like, nope, that's not how that works. Nope, that's not how that works. But you guys did help me understand quite a great bit more than we did earlier, so thank you very much. I'll post in the Discord tomorrow when we decide to go live. I'd assume 3:30 p.m. Central, roughly at the latest, we'll be back. It's fun. Yeah, thank you very much. Fun to watch. Fun to watch the struggles of somebody else starting out when you know that you used to be there as well. But yeah, thank you very much once again, everybody. Take care. Have a good one. We'll see you all next time. Enjoy the auto crafting ride. Thank you very much. See you guys later.